So yeah, you guys see what I've got. I'm clearly running out of a very small build, very small setup. This is about as mediocre as it gets. I wouldn't say that between chemicals, fuel, and just a couple little attachments for the equipment, I would say I'm in just under $1,000, give or take. Okay, so I just want to do a quick walk around on my S10 setup before putting a custom skid in, which is what I'm doing next. This is how I'm running my very first original setup. Very few upgrades to what I originally bought, but I will show you guys how we're doing it. So first off, let's just start in the back here since it's uncovered. We've got 100 feet of regular garden hose with another 25 feet here of regular garden hose, but I do have this ball valve on here, so this does make it easy. I plug this into my machine. It allows me to turn off the water right at my machine versus having to go all the way to the spigot every time to turn off, because I am running a 2.5. This is my surface cleaner. Most people know about that. Ryobi 15-inch gun, my extended pole, my rubber boots, and then I've also got 50-inch of pressure hose as well. So we'll move up to the front. Here I've got my step stool because I do truck washes from time to time or every other week. We've got our 5-gallon gas jug. We've got our Fabuloso if we do some cans. We've got our coordinating liquid. You guys know about that, 10%. And this is the beast. Yep, still got the handle on it. No, it is not mounted because I do not have it mounted in the truck. No need to mount the 2.5. I don't believe it's a little bit easier to get around. And I just set it up somewhere in dirt, running the 50-foot hose, pressure hose. So I mean, I can cover 100 feet from this 100-foot radius of that, and then of course we got the 125 feet of garden hose, so I can always move this 125 feet away from my original setup if I ever need to, if I'm doing a big job. Then let's make sure that's just water leaking up front. It might not be. Let me double check what's leaking here. It should just be water. So yeah, we got that there, as you see. Sorry, I probably have to cut that out as I get distracted here. On this other side here, we've got our 5-gallon bucket. I've got a concrete cleaner that I can run through my machine. I just don't typically run it through there. If I ever do decide to switch it up or don't run out of bleach, whatever issue, this does work great. This is just a Zep concrete cleaner. We've got our microfiber rags for the windows, doors, and the trucks. Of course, like I said, I do trucks. And I've got my 4-gallon a minute backpack, or 4-gallon a minute, not 4-gallon a minute, 4-gallon backpack sprayer. And I run this here. I tuck this hose in here on the plastic so we don't have any drippage from that, of course, because we do not want that SH leaking through. We've got this is water and soap, just water and soap mixture for any needs. I've got my box here. I keep 2 rags always in there for whatever reason, and of course new dry ones. We got our turbo nozzle. I am running a Ryobi twist nozzle. I love this. This is actually my second one. I did blow through the head of one of them because I accidentally ran a little bit of bleach through there. I rinsed through my machine, but clearly didn't get my nozzle rinsed out because I switched nozzles. So I ended up blowing my 40 on here. So I just kept that just in case I'll end up running it. A little bit of motor oil, an extra wand head just in case whatever reason anything happens. But we're running a very basic setup. Not much to it. I throw this blanket over top like so and tuck it in and wrap it around here, so that way when I'm traveling, people don't see what's in the back of my truck and follow me, because some of the areas I travel to can be a little bit rough, some of the areas I'm in, because I'm just running this out of the 2003 S10 Got a 7-foot bed, so I can put a full-size ladder, a 6-foot ladder in here. But the next thing we're going to be doing is pulling out this plastic sheeting. We're going to be throwing in a pallet and doing a wood skid. I'm going to be custom building that. Going to be upgrading to a 4.4 gallon a minute. 4 gallon a minute. 4,400 psi is what we're going to be upgrading to next. Probably upgrade the surface cleaner and go a separate full attached surface cleaner, not just the base there. And then we'll be mounted up into here. I'm going to be running an X-Jet system. I'm going to be running the X-Jet system instead of soft wash system. My truck is not really meant to carry a whole bunch of weight, so I don't really want to have 2 or 3 drums in here with anywhere from 50 to 200 gallons of water. I don't want to blow out this axle. The suspension is on an air ride suspension, so it has been upgraded, but still the truck itself is old, 20-ish years old, so we don't want to beat it up more than it needs to. The skid will be relatively light, and obviously eliminating water will help with that. Might build a ladder rack on here, but might not. With the 7-foot bed, I run a 6-foot ladder. Anything longer than that, I'm going to set it up to where I can still get it all the way across, and I can always bungee down in here. So we might still be looking a little bit rough, but we will be mounted up soon. We'll be putting on this opposite side here, because obviously, as you guys know, typically you pull up to the side on the passenger side of your truck. So I will be mounting. I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna do it as far as what reels, but we will have a water hose, pressure washer hose, and then I might end up putting a 50 to 100 foot X-Jet hose just in the truck, not on a reel, for the sake of I will be running the X-Jet. I've actually been looking into something that I think might be good for some of you guys that do run an X-Jet, and maybe somebody's already tried it before, maybe not, but I'm gonna figure out a way to put an air release valve on my pump sprayer, my backpack sprayer. And I think that I have a couple extra of these backpack sprayers. So what I think I'm gonna do is drill a hole through here and put basically a drop stick system for my X-Jet, direct my X-Jet straight onto the backpack sprayer, and then I'll be running chemical straight through the X-Jet tube out of my gun with the backpack on my back. So that way I'm not carrying around a bucket. Obviously, yes, I'm carrying around a tub, but it's going to be strapped up on my back. I think that'll be a lot more efficient. I think it'll help save for spilling and things like that. If anybody has already done something similar with their setup or tried that and it didn't work, please feel free to let me know in the comments, because the last thing I want is to, do it wrong. If somebody's already done it wrong, I'll take that advice. But I think it's honestly a pretty good thought process. I was thinking about it earlier, just for the sake of not having to set down a 5-gallon bucket. And if you have a 10-foot siphon hose, then you got to make sure you're staying close to that bucket and moving it very often. And I was actually thinking of, like I said, I'm not going to be running a water tank, so when I do have bigger jobs, I was thinking of using it especially for chemical application on the ground as well, not just housing. So if I can run straight batch mix out of my backpack and be able to do the concrete or a house, depending on how I batch mix it, I think that'll be really good. Obviously, you're going to do a little bit less SH on the house than you would on the concrete, but that is my current plan. Sorry for the shaky video. I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching. This is my give or take 4th month. I'm starting to get some really consistent work. One consistent contract that is bi-weekly, and then I'm working on a 7-Eleven gas station and a grocery store chain as well, doing the front of their store on a regular basis. So please hit that like and subscribe, hit the bell notification. Feel free to give me any tips, because I am a newbie in here. Obviously, I'm running the 2.5. I've done a lot of research, probably been researching for about 10 months, probably 5 months prior to even getting my machine. I was doing research, learning about chemical mixtures, learning about the equipment, what's the best way to do it, what's the wrong way to do it, the do's and don'ts of the business, of the industry. And honestly, it's been a blast. Today I had a backyard area, an entire section, a pool area, a pool deck, I should say, and they did have one spot that they did not have draining, so that was a little bit of a tough spot, but otherwise It was great. I was in and out of there in about 3 hours, which it should have been a little bit less because of that one section. But running my 2.5 gallon minute machine, yeah. So from running a 2.5 gallon minute machine to typical Ryobi handle, I am gonna be upgrading my gun soon to a short nozzle, a short end gun, especially when we're running that X-Jet. That is in the works. That is on the list to purchase next. And then obviously my whole skid, I'm looking at about $3,000. So I will show you guys the $3,000 setup on my skid if I can manage to really. I know I can get it in for $3,000. I've already got everything put in the shopping cart. It's just a matter about making sure I've got all the money saved, all the jobs coming in to really upgrade the equipment. But I will be upgrading most of this, probably putting all these on reels, probably just rocking with the same hoses for a little bit, maybe getting the FlexZilla. I do have FlexZilla in the shopping cart, but obviously for now, hey, steal the garden hose, make it do. Steal the household step stool if you need to, make it do. I've got a 6 foot ladder in here. Rubber boots, had those for a couple of years now. Managed to find them in the garage because I am in California, so we do not get much rain here in the valley. Everything is really dry for the most. So if that day does come where I need to, you know, run the water reservoir, all of that kind of stuff, I will absolutely be upgrading, hopefully into a van build from there. That's what I've been looking into. But for now, this thing does great. It's a little 4.3 liter V6, so definitely plenty of power, not losing any power if I have any jobs too far away up in the hills, anything like that. But yeah, quick walk around of what I'm running out of, guys. I am running the most basic setup you can get. I've got relatively cheap small truck, and I've got about, I don't know, between my pressure washer, I paid about, for that, the surface cleaner, and a couple other things, I paid about $500 out the door. Garden hose was free. New pressure hose was about $500. No, sorry, not 500. $75, I think I paid for that. And I think I actually bought one more thing in that order, so don't quote that price direct. And then I also had to get some fittings for the quick release, because this machine did not come with a quick release. So I went to Home Depot, got quick release connects for this end for my pressure hose. Ooh. And over here on my gun, on this end here. So as I'm falling over the truck. So we've got all of that, but no upgrades really. I've only had to add this and onto the other end of my wand there, so that way I can run the quick connect hose, because this did come with it. This is a 3/8 quick connect. Came with a 1/4 inch 50 footer, but the 1/4 inch was plastic. It was terrible. I'm already in the green as far as that. Now it's just saving all of these profits, putting them aside. I've got them stashed away, and we will be upgrading the equipment soon. Again, I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you're still here in the video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, give me any tips, tricks, or recommendations that you have, and I do appreciate it. Lots of love.